Hello guys, I hope everybody is doing good. Okay, we're going to be talking about in today's session, okay, FRM level 1 revision plan. Okay, before we go ahead, just give me a confirmation if you can see me, hear me and see the screen properly. FRM level 1 revision plan, okay, with respect to the May 2025 exam. If you're planning for this exam, how should you plan your revision, or basically what should be the order of the revision to be done? Okay, so over here our focus is on the May 2025 exam. Okay, now ideally the expectation is that when you're going for a May exam, okay, you are able to complete all your readings, okay, all your videos, so all readings, then all videos if you've taken a video lectures, and all chapter wise question bank. All three things ideally should be done by March end. Okay, and from April onwards you have to start doing your revision. Okay, you have to start doing your revision. So how do we plan that revision? I'm going to talk about that in detail now. Okay, so suppose we are starting on 1st of April. Okay, we are starting on 1st of April. Okay, and your exam is say by 15th of May. Okay, so and the aim should be, okay, in your entire revision timeline, that you should be able to look at the content at least 3 times. That should be your target. If you're able to do 2 times, that is also okay, but focus should be to do it 3 times. Okay, so from 1st of April, okay, to primarily your 20th of April, you should be doing one, okay, first full revision. Okay, and as you complete the entire full revision, also you can do sectional test. What is the sectional test? Sectional test means you're giving a test for the entire book. Okay, generally people call the sectional test as book wise test. So you're reading the entire book and you're solving. Okay, but I'll also tell you what should be the order of revision. Okay, which topics generally from the book 3 and book 4 perspective are higher, so you should be looking at it in a particular order. Okay, and from 20th of April, okay, till the end of April, okay, you should be doing your second revision. Now this time the revision has to be faster. Okay, you have only 10 days to cover. Okay, so now when you're revising, don't revise everything. Okay, focus on those chapters which requires more attention. Okay, you're doing revision for those chapters where you are weak. Okay, and the chapters which you are fairly good, in your second revision you can just briefly walk through it, reading the formulas, going through the formulas, reading the important concepts. That should be the overall approach. And then, okay, from your 1st of May, okay, till your exam date, okay, you should be doing your third revision. Now over here I have assumed that the exam date is 15th of May. Okay, so when you're doing the third revision, along with that you should be looking at mock papers. Okay, like I said, at least 3 to 4 mock papers is what is expected from you when you're solving. Okay, so that should be your overall strategy. I'm just going to be summarizing it. So ideally by end of March you should be done with all your reading, all the chapter videos, all the chapter wise question, at least minimum 20-30 questions for each chapter. You're done. Okay, now from 1st of April till 20th of April, in the first 20 days, because you're doing the revision for the first time, it is going to take a lot of time. Okay, so do your entire full revision, and along with that revision, once you complete the revision, do sectional test. What is sectional test? Your entire book wise test. Previously you had done chapter wise test, now focus on the book wise test. Now from the 20th of April, okay, from the 20th of April till the end of April, try to go and do your second revision. Okay, try to go and do your second revision. This should be faster. Okay, focusing only on difficult topics or weak areas, and then from the 1st of May till your exam date, which I'm assuming is 15, should be focusing on the third and final revision and do 3 or 4 mock papers. Okay, 3 or 4 mock papers. That should be your overall strategy. Now, what should be the order? This is a very important part. What should be your order of preparation? And I'll be putting the Excel sheet as a link in the below the video, so you can access this Excel sheet also, which will guide you. Now let me go through the Excel sheet and try to help you understand what is the order and why I have explicitly kept a particular order. Okay, now when you look at my Excel sheet, what I've done is I've kept the series of chapters. Okay, then I've also kept the book number, whether it is for book 1, book 2, book 3 or book 4, and I have created few sections. Now these sections will help me understand whether a particular chapter was a big problem for me or not. Okay, so what I've done, when I'm done with revision, okay, I just have to recall that whether for each chapter I was facing any concept related doubt. Okay, if yes, then I will mention yes for that chapter. Okay, and if possible, you can mention the topic also over there if possible. Next question would be, when I was solving the chapter wise question, did I face any problem in the questions of those chapters? Okay, so you can make a note of that. And finally, is my revision completed? When you're doing for the first time, is my first revision completed for that chapter properly? Okay, and then what is the final status? Is everything okay for that chapter or not? Now, when you do this analysis, it gives you a complete picture that out of total 62 chapters, when you have completed the revision, there might be 15, 20 or 25 chapters where you have to focus more, because either you have a concept related doubt, either you have not done very well when you were solving the question bank, okay, or you were not confident in the first reading. So those 20-25 chapters, you should be looking at it properly in the second revision. Okay, so basically what you're doing when you're doing the first revision, you're getting a series of 20-25 chapters which you know that I will have to focus in the second revision properly. That should be your strategy. Okay, now let us look at the order. Okay, if you have any queries, guys, you can post it on the chat section. I will answer those queries by taking your name. But before we go there, okay, I'm going to talk about now the order of preparation. Okay, so I generally ask students that, okay, once you have completed all the chapters, okay, completed everything by say March end, okay, some of the students might be able to complete by 10th of April. That is still okay. There's nothing to worry about. Okay, now when you're done with that, you should focus on covering all the futures and options related chapters. Okay, now make sure that you don't look those chapters only from calculation perspective, because in the actual exam, in the past exam, there has been an approach of questions being asked from a theory perspective from this chapter. So please make sure that you do not only focus on calculation from these chapters. Okay, so I've talked about the basics of the future, then the pricing of the futures, and the basics of the options. So roughly around 12th chapter is what you get in this series. Okay, try to complete that as soon as possible. On an average, 1 hour reading, 1 hour reading per chapter is what you're supposed to give. Okay, once you're done with all the core chapters of book 3, okay, then what you can do the next 3 chapters. I'm just going to color it. Okay, next 3 chapters in one go. This is coming from your book 4. Now these 3 chapters are talking about option valuation, which is connected to your previous topic of option basics. So you should be revising it immediately after that. Okay, and so this basically covers almost till this 15 chapters. Okay, you have almost covered, okay, major content of book 3, okay, and some content of book 4. Now immediately after that, what you can do in terms of revision, you can look at bond valuation. Look at all the chapters connected to bond valuation in one go. Now some of the chapters are there in book 3 and some of the chapters are there in book 4. Okay, so make sure that you go through them together and in one go. Okay, now the reason I am explicitly stressing on doing this, because what happens is a lot of students, they find book 4 very tough, primarily because of the bond valuation chapters. Okay, so let us look at those chapters. So you can see from here till these. Okay, so almost 8 chapters focusing on bond valuation and then bond hedging. Okay, again, out of that, okay, I'll give you some gist of which chapters are generally being tested. Okay, but these chapters has to be done together. entire bond valuation series has to be done together. Now, a lot of students, they find modeling non-parallel shift slightly tough. So don't worry. Okay, just go through that once. Okay, whichever sections I will be highlighting in the month of April, I'll be coming up with a video which talks about important concepts for each book. Okay, each chapter, each book. In that, I'll highlight what important is there for modeling non-parallel term structure. You can just focus on that. That is okay. Once you're done with the bond part, you can do next 3 chapters. I'm just highlighting it. These are the next 3 chapters which are connected to VAR, and that is generally tested heavily. VAR, GARCH model, EWMA, all of these topics are very, very important. So make sure that you do the revision properly. Again, 1 hour per one chapter. Don't spend more, because then you will not be able to complete everything in the next 20 days. Okay. So these 3 chapters are important. Okay. These are VAR specific chapters. Once you're done with that, okay, there are few chapters, around 5 chapters, which are more focused on disasters or the great financial crisis. In the exam, you'll find these topics are tested, especially learning from financial disaster. All the case studies are very important. Okay, but focus on reading the entire content. So you can do the next 5 chapters in that order. Take a break, do some quick revision and all of that. Make some notes if you want. But these 5 chapters have to be done in one go. Now, some of the chapters are from book 3, book 4, and book 1. Okay, but you should be doing it together because they're connected to each other. Okay, they're connected to each other. Then, when you look at book 2, okay, see, these all chapters are from book 2, almost 13 chapters. But what I've done is, immediately after fundamentals of probability, I have connected it to multivariate random variable. The reason being, these chapters are connected to each other, and these chapters are important. Okay, both the chapters are important. You will find at least 3 questions from fundamentals of probability and multivariate random variable together in the exam, and 2 mostly are going to be easy, but 1 question is going to be very, very tough. Okay, then you have random variable, common univariate variable. All of these chapters are doing good. Okay, all of these chapters are important. Okay, and within this regression, there are 3 chapters in a series which I have explained: regression, multiple regression, and then you have regression diagnostic. These 3 chapters are combined and asked query in the exam. Okay, so when you're revising, make sure that you revise all the 3 chapters in one go. Take 2.5 hours and complete everything together. Okay. Then stationary, non-stationary, this chapter a lot of people find tough, but in the exam you'll find mostly theory question from these chapters. Okay. Once you're done with till bootstrapping, simulation and bootstrapping, I have not talked about machine learning chapters. I have kept it at the end for revision. Okay, there is a reason for it. Next, once you're done, completed till simulation and bootstrapping, you have completed till now around 44 chapters. Now we're going to be moving towards 2 chapters which you need to do together. That is your portfolio management chapters, because both chapters are connected. So revise them together, read the chapters together. Okay. Now after this onwards, almost all of the chapters are independent. Okay, like GARP code of conduct, it is not connected to any other chapter, but it is important chapter. Okay, all of these chapters has to be done in any order. There is no problem, especially your machine learning and machine learning models and prediction part. These 2 chapters are connected, but you should doing at the end, because a lot of students who go for the exam, they do not have any technical background. Okay, so they might find these 2 chapters slightly tough, and hence what I've done is I have kept those chapters at the end. Okay, I've kept those chapters at the end. Okay, so this is the overall order of preparation. I'll be putting the Excel link also in the video description, so that you can prepare on your own, and make sure that when you're using this Excel sheet, okay, please fill out the details. What are the details that I was talking about? Do you have any specific doubt in a chapter? Do you have any specific question related doubt when you solve the question bank? Did you face any challenge? Make sure that you write it down, because when you're doing the overall analysis, you have to identify out of the total 62 chapters after your first revision, what are the top 20-25 chapters that have to focus in the second revision. So your first revision should become the base for your second revision. Okay, which is going to happen very fast in the next 10 days. Okay, so that is what the overall revision plan is. Revision plan looks like. Okay, now over here I'll just highlight which are the chapters which you should focus more on. Okay, so there are 2 chapters, which is pricing, financial forwards, and futures, commodity forwards and futures. Make sure that you're good at it. Then you have trading strategy and exotic option. Make sure that you are good at it. You know the concepts. Okay, Then you have central clearing chapter, also important. Focus on reading that chapter. Option Greeks. Okay, option Greeks is also slightly important, generally testable in the exam. Interest rate futures and swap. These chapters are generally testable. Applying duration DV01. Make sure that you read it properly. Okay. Financial risk, measure of financial risk, and measuring and monitoring volatility. Both of these chapters related to VAR and expected shortfall are slightly important. So make sure that you read it properly. Then look at anatomy of great financial crisis and mortgage and mortgage-backed security. Both are kind of connected chapters. Read it properly for the exam. Then learning for financial disaster. Most testable concepts will come from here. So they have case studies in this chapter. Read those case studies properly. Next, you will find regression diagnostic and hypothesis testing, most testable. The multivariate random variable is also testable. Then you will find simulation also testable from book 2 or the quant book. Modern portfolio theory, which is CAPM related chapter, also generally testable. GARP code of conduct, you will find 1 or 2 questions from this chapter with scenario based question discussion. Then corporate bond is also slightly important, so you should read. Governance of risk management, more or less theory based questions will come and connected to culture of the organization, risk culture of the organization, that can be tested. And then within the machine learning and modeling, the second chapter is slightly important when you compare both of them, so you can focus over here properly. Okay, so this is what I've done. So I've given you the plan for revision. Okay, I've given you the order of revision, and while revising also which chapter you should focus more on. Okay, so I've given you the list also. Okay, so I hope everybody is able to get the benefit of this session. Any queries that you guys have? Any queries with respect to your preparation? Any queries, people who are preparing for the upcoming May exam, any queries that they have? I'll be taking up more such sessions in the future, trying to address the queries that people have for the exam, so that they can prepare better and clear the exam in the first attempt. I've already talked about the revision plan, and I'll be putting up the Excel sheet also. Any queries for the exam preparation? Okay. Yes. Krishnendu, we're going to be attaching the link of the Excel sheet in this same video. I've been practicing analyst prep and Swagger question. No, I don't think so. Their questions are enough. Their questions are slightly easier. In the exam, you'll find questions slightly scenario based. And most of the question will be there where you are either a chief risk officer or say a CFO of the company and you have to take a decision. Okay. Sarthak, I have answered your query. Any specific pointers? Any queries from the students who are preparing for the upcoming exam? We'll keep on doing similar sessions in the future. So do subscribe to our channel. Okay. In case you have any specific queries which is not getting addressed in this session, you can reach us on the WhatsApp. Okay. Where I might be able to guide you. Okay. This is our WhatsApp number. Next question which I'm answering, can we have a mock test just 10 days before the exam? I generally say around 15 days before the exam, because then you'll be able to solve at least 3 to 4 mocks properly, and you'll be able to give last 2-3 days for the exam preparation. Okay. So 15 days minimum is what ideally you should be doing. Okay. Hussein, so do I need to solve GARP papers available on the GARP website? Yes, you should be doing it, but the end. Before that, there should be full length mocks which you should be solving. Okay. But GARP sample paper are also important. There are 2 sample papers that you get. Make sure that you solve those properly and also look at the concepts from each chapter properly. Okay. Sarthak, answering to your query, so I have my own question bank, so I generally recommend that, okay, because it has scenario based question, and I have refreshed entire question bank, okay, now, which will give you slightly tougher questions from the exam perspective point, and it will help you to prepare better. I've also talked about that. Yes. Any other queries, guys, which is helping you or which might help you with respect to your preparation for the exam? Okay, so if you still have query, okay, you can reach us on our WhatsApp number. We'll try to guide you as much as possible. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for joining for today's session. Okay, yes, Harshal, yes, a lot of our students have already only used my question bank and they have been able to clear the exam. Okay, again, see, a question bank, any question bank will give you some idea of what is the concept level of testing for the concept. But again, if you're clear on the concept, then it becomes easy for you to clear the exam. Okay, and in our question bank, we have chapter based questions, we have sectional tests, we have important concept quizzes, and then we have mock papers. And this year again, I'm going to refresh the entire mock papers. I'm going to make it slightly tougher for the exam perspective. Okay, and we're going to be giving 4 mock papers. So definitely that is going to be really helpful if you do it properly, sincerely, and do the analysis of where the mistakes are happening. Okay, so thank you again, guys, for joining in. Okay, we're going to be keeping on a lot of these similar sessions in the future. So do join, subscribe to our channel, and like this video, share this video with your friends who are going to be preparing for the exam.